What's going on, everybody? So, welcome to my Madam Web movie review. Um, this movie was okay. I mean, it wasn't good, but it wasn't bad either. Like, I understand what other reviewers and people were saying, like, it had potential. Now seeing the movie, I'm like, yeah, it had potential. It had potential. But yeah, I just want to say thank you to all of my new subscribers, and let's get to it. So, we're introduced first not to Cassie, which is, I want to point out, her name is Cassie Webb in this movie instead of Cassandra, but some forums got her still as Cassandra, and Cassie just being like the nickname, but it's short for Cassandra. So they still, and like on Wikipedia, she is still called, and for the movie, they still got her listed as Cassandra Cassie Webb, and Cassandra is her actual name in the comic books. But we're introduced to her mother. Um, we introduced to her mother, and the plot and the setup to this movie is that her mother who is pregnant at the time with Cassandra, because I think this takes place in like this part is in like 19. I hold on, maybe, I think it was like 1973. Yep, it was 1973 when this part in the movie takes place, and we are introduced to her. She's in Peru, and she's on the search for this particular spider for a particular reason, and we get to meet her partner Ezekiel Sims, our title main villain of the movie, and something happens. But that we get told that we get a little bit of backstory. We get told that the spider has particular properties, and the tribe that protects these spiders have these spiral-like abilities, which is just basically abilities like Spider-Man without the web shooting. Um, and then something happens, a betrayal happens, thanks to Ezekiel, and then we are jumped to 2003, where this movie primarily takes place, and now we have the introduction of Cassandra Webb, or Cassie as she'll be called throughout the movie, and there's a lot that I left out on that first part on purpose. So there's a lot more that happened, but a little bit of mystery if you haven't seen the movie or if you plan on seeing the movie. Um, we're introduced to Cassandra here, which she's a paramedic, and I don't think when I went through trying to introduce myself to her character again, she wasn't a paramedic in the comics. So this was a choice for the movies, and she's a paramedic who I didn't know Mike Epps was in this movie too. He played her boss. But yeah, that we're introduced to her. They go on some saves, but the most important part of this is that while we introduced to her and them trying to and her partner, which is Ben Parker, Uncle Ben, a young Uncle Ben. We introduced to our partner Ben Parker, and they try to save somebody in the ambulance. And the most important part is that at some point in this part, she has a run in with all three Spider Women, and from there, there's another. From there, she's wrote to some. We are introduced to both May Parker, Aunt May, who no, not we're not introduced to Aunt May. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. They alluded to Aunt May, but we're introduced to Ben's sister, who is Mary Parker. I think that's her name. Peter Parker's mom. We're introduced to Peter Parker's mom. But we don't see Richard. We hear that he's like off somewhere doing something. Um, then we not make this video long, we introduced to a event where she has that we seen in the trailers, where she basically had to go on the save. She gets stuck in this car. The car falls into the ocean. She smacks her head, and then unlocking her powers. She's saved, and then we started seeing her powers activate as we get in we're shown situations, and then the situation repeats itself, and we find out, oh, that's the reason why it's repeating itself, because she was seeing the future the first time, and the second time is it really happening. And as we gradually go forward, we are shown her connection to these three Spider Women, and why she keep having these visions about Ezekiel killing the Spider Women. And we are shown, and we are actually shown like through Ezekiel, he has similar abilities, and we are shown why he wants the Spider Women, because he sees them do something to him, and I think I can say this part because it was shown in the he said it in the trailers. Yeah, he said it in the trailer, so this is not a spoiler, that they kill him in the future. He sees his future self get killed by the Spider Women, so he wants to kill them early because they end him in the future. And from there, we got your movie. Yeah, so you got your movie, you got your plot, and from there is basically Cassandra's vision. She's using her vision to try to protect the girls. While also discovering some things about herself and her past, her connection with her mom and whatnot. This movie was acted well. I enjoyed it. For what it was, I enjoyed it. The movie was acted well. The movie was directed well. It was shot well. I didn't have no problem with the acting. I had no problem with the way it's shot, the visuals. I mean, the CGI was, for the most part, was good. That part was okay. Nothing wrong with that. My gripe with this movie, it was just that on top of what I said earlier, it was boring. That's my first thing. The movie was just boring, and I was uninterested. Not boring, not boring because of like how Echo boring, but it was just boring because I was just uninterested in the character. It does have a little bit of woke stuff in it, but it wasn't overshadowing anything. It wasn't overpowering, nothing. So it was there, but it's not there to make you go be like, oh yeah. They're not preaching to you. But yeah, it was just boring, and I was uninterested. I don't care. I didn't care for the Spider Women. Like I really didn't. Like it was a unique choice to have this take place where Peter Parker is just a baby. But I still feel like there was a missed opportunity here. Like, even with Peter Parker being a baby, we don't get no hint. Like, you can see the future, so you don't take that time to use it to show a future where she meets Peter Parker as Spider-Man. And we get to see which Spider-Man she meets. It could have been even somebody playing a new different Spider-Man. Who knows? Like, it was an opportunity there, though, to bring in a Spider-Man and to show which universe of Spider-Man this takes place in. Tobey Maguire's, Andrew Garfield's, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. What Spider-Man universe this takes place in, if not a new Spider-Man. But I feel like that was a missed opportunity there on that part. I did like her final design. She was like at the point where they showed her in the Spider Woman in costume, and I did like that. I like her final design for the Man of Web costume. I did. But overall, the movie was just, I don't know. Like I said, it was boring and uninterested. It wasn't no post credit scenes, nothing like that. so there's no need to stay after the movie. Uh, yeah, the villain himself, Ezekiel, was a nice was I was not saying nice a unique choice, but he was like he was menacing. The only time I say he was menacing and truly like a villain, like I felt interested in him like a villain, is when she kept seeing him, like she kept seeing him in her visions, and how she and killing the girls. And that, ironically, that was the only other time I cared for the girls too. Like, oh God, he's killing them. Like, oh, okay, that was a vision. So okay, that part, yes. I do like the. I will say that I do like how they did the visions and stuff and whatnot. Um, but it was just overall just damn. Yeah, I didn't. I wasn't feeling it. Like he was a lackluster villain overall. Like just because I did like him a little bit when he was being menacing in the actual visions, and he was actually killing them brutally, or not brutally, not too like super brutal, but it was brutal enough. Um, yeah, I just really didn't. I didn't really like the Spider Women unless they was it being attacked in the visions. Like outside the visions in the real world, like I didn't really care for them that much and their problems. Um, it just didn't work for me. It didn't work for me, especially considering I really wanted to see Madam Web. Like I liked the Madam Web character. For the most part, she was Madam Web, but I just didn't. I didn't like the fact that we just didn't get to see her interact with Spider Man or a version of him in the future. Like we didn't get to see like a future vision of her interacting. It was like she. It was like she was there to mentor and protect the Spider Women, and I'm just like that was a weird choice at that point, and that's why I said it was like I don't think they this was I don't I would say this I don't think they should have chose the Spider Women as just the people that she was supposed to protect and mentor, because I don't know. I feel like that was not a good aesthetic choice. But overall, I would give it I'd give it a 5 out of 10. Big ups, because like I said, it wasn't bad, but it just wasn't good either. So it was a 5. It was meh. It was mid. It was whatever you want to use, mediocre, mid, mild, whatever. It wasn't it wasn't it was below it was average. It wasn't above average. It was average. I don't need to see it again, nor would I be buying it on DVD. No, I don't think so. But is it worth going to the movies to see? Yeah, yeah. If you're a fan of Marvel and you're a fan of Spider Man and Spider Man characters and you want to see them on the big screen, just to say you seen a live action Metal Web and stuff like that, yeah, it's worth going to see. But it's really like a standalone movie, and it's not really. It don't really build towards nothing because the character, like they really didn't do nothing to build towards anything. I do not. I don't want to see another movie with Madam Web and like. If you get me, I don't want to see another movie with Madam Web and the Spider Woman. Like I don't need to see the Spider Woman unless it involves Peter Parker in some way. But you let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought, and if you enjoy my video. Also, let me know what you thought without spoiling the movie if you've seen the movie. Because I don't want people to come to the video and be spoiled. But yeah, 5 out of 10. Yeah, 5 out of 10. But if you enjoy my review, you hit this button right there for all of my reviews, my movie in it. It's gonna be movie and TV show reviews. And if you enjoy the video so much, want to support the channel, all you gotta do is hit those buttons, guys. And I haven't said it in a long time, but hit the like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button, do all those great things, because why not, right? It helps me and us grow bigger. The tribe can only get bigger from here, and that's why that's all I want. I want us to get bigger and become a dominant tribe on YouTube. And as always, hitting you one of these videos for more of my amazing content. But don't go anywhere because I got A reaction coming your way. Peace. And gameplay.